I'm Sonia in Cyber, and I had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass on 9/6/23, and this is my second video to talk about some things that I would recommend that you make sure that you do if you're having weight loss surgery. Do research and familiarize yourself with your diet progression. Make sure that you know what's coming and what's expected at different phases of your eating. You will likely start out with a completely clear liquid diet and then move to a pureed or soft stage of food and then eventually start introducing more solid foods. You need to make sure that you're staying on top of that and that you're prepared for when that comes. And you can use a variety of methods to make sure that you are, whether that's saving some recipes for that time when that time comes, making sure that you're meal prepping if you need to, making sure you're using a food tracker. Those are all things that will help you stay on track. And I will add this, it's really easy to get afraid of like progressing and maturing your diet, but I promise you, you have to kind of push yourself a little bit with that and push past that fear so that you can start to train your body to tolerate real food again. When I first had my surgery, like I loved yogurt and I still eat yogurt a lot, but truth be told, I can't survive on only yogurt, even though it was like the easiest thing for me to eat, especially during the pureed stage. And I really didn't want to introduce a lot more because the yogurt was working so well. But honestly, I needed to push myself so that I could start processing and digesting things like chicken, things like steak, things like vegetables. And so now I'm actually completely fine digesting any of those things, but it took time to get there and it took me being brave to actually try those things out. And then even if it didn't work out at one point, being brave enough to try it again, because sometimes the body's kind of funny when you have these surgeries, like what works one second may not work the next, but I'll talk about that in a different video. Do weight loss proof your home. Like get rid of the junk, make sure that your family is educated and like get connected with the community so that you can have a very strong support network around you. I think it's very important to let those closest to you like really know and understand what you're going to be going through. Though I will also tell you that even if you do, you're still going to feel alone during some parts of that. But do not let that discourage you. It's all normal and part of the process. Do plan for those travel days when you know you're going to be on the go and you really don't have time to come up with or cook some kind of grand meal at home. Make sure that you have a plan for that or you keep some things on stock that you can rely on for good sources of protein. Prime examples for me, like I traveled earlier today, and so when I was in the airport, I was running late this morning. I didn't bring any kind of snacks with me. So I ended up getting some pistachios. I had some salami and cheese with these light cracker type things, but I ended up not even eating most of those. And then I also ended up getting myself a little Caesar salad, but then I took the lettuce out and only ate the chicken. And then I also had a little yogurt on the go that you could drink that was like 20 grams of protein. So there are good options for you. Just be prepared to make smarter choices with that or to have something with you to ensure that you don't even have to try to buy something out of house. Do keep water and liquid on you at all times because water and hydration is a huge part of this entire surgery. You will put yourself at risk, your life at risk, if you do not get your hydration in daily. So it's super important. Make sure you have a favorite bottle, a favorite cup, something that keeps you motivated so that you can stay on top of getting your hydration in. Do protect your mental space and mindset. Like avoid rabbit holes and like negativity traps. And like if you notice that people or things are not really motivating you or are actually starting to pull you down, then get away from it. You need to set yourself up for success, and that's a huge part of it. And give yourself permission to feel good about what's happening to you. You are doing an amazing thing. You are being so brave and you deserve this. You deserve the happiness. You deserve this future version of you. Absolutely. Own that. Do take your time eating as your diet progresses. Remember, chew, 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 chew. Pause, chew, 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 chew some more, and pause and chew, chew, chew. We chew a hell of a lot. And especially early on in this process, you're going to chew even more than you will later. As your body continues recovering and healing, you will be able to lay off of it a bit. But I will tell you, even me 5.5 months post-op and my stomach kind of being like a trash can where I can eat just about everything to my surprise, I still sometimes will get caught up if I try to eat too fast or I try to eat a bite that's too big. So make sure that you allow yourself to take the time you need, even if it means you have to get up from the table or wherever you're sitting eating to be able to give yourself a break. Do allow yourself to laugh. This is a big one for me. I'm huge on like making sure that positivity and humor is infused in anything. And I believe it's one of the best things you can do, being positive and optimistic throughout your journey. journey to get yourself through it faster, to get yourself on that recovery path sooner. It's going to be a wild ride, and a lot of it is going to be hard, right? And you have like that option. Are you going to sit in the corner, mull over it, and be pissed off all the time? Or are you going to just let yourself like laugh about some of those things and then push through them? Here's a prime example. Early on in my journey, I had like a nightmare that involved me with this massive spaghetti noodle. Like if you ever want to see the whole story, just go look at my TikTok, or maybe I'll bring it over here on YouTube one day. But I had this big spaghetti noodle that I was choking on, and it was just like coming out and just would not stop out of my mouth. Anyway, it's a pretty funny story. And when I came out of that, and I still remembered that, I could have taken that as like a sign to like get really down and out about the foods I couldn't eat anymore, because at that point I couldn't eat spaghetti and I loved spaghetti. I could have been like, oh man, I can't eat spaghetti anymore. My life is over. This sucks. But no, instead I was like, man, that is some funny shit. I got a spaghetti noodle coming out. Heck yes. Like, how funny is that? I'm going to even share it because there's probably other people out there that are feeling the same way. And then it was a lot better and I was able to patch myself up and move on. And I can't say this one loud enough, celebrate your successes, no matter how big or small. I will tell you right now, on the scale or off the scale. Off the scale are the ones that are going to be the main ones that really push you through and hold you during this entire process. Those are those non-scale victories. Those are those things like fitting smaller clothing sizes, having less inches around your measurements, being able to move faster, and being able to play with your children. Those are all non-scale victories. I had one today and it's never going to get old, and it's me being able to sit on an airplane comfortably with no anxiety, to put my seatbelt on, and to even be able to cross my legs. I didn't think I would see this day again in my lifetime where I'm able to like fully cross my legs and keep them crossed while I'm on an airplane. Like, because you know, airplane seats are just not the greatest in terms of size. But then also the belt. The belt had almost an extra foot of slack. And I mean, that is unheard of considering that I could barely fit into the belt before. I was right there at that point of needing an extender. And so yeah, that's it. That ties up my do's list for this round. Let me know if you want some more, or if there's other topics you would love for me to touch on in the comments. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you on my next video.